What's up, guys? We are here looking at a bit of a fun deck today, and that is Pikachu Magnezone, but with a fun little twist, and that is the inclusion of Xurkitree GX. So why this card is in here is mainly for its ability. Flashing Head. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy attached to them. So a lot of opponents just aren't prepared to deal with this card. They don't know how to play around it, or they have to play around it, and it makes them do awkward plays. And then we have a pretty cool GX attack as well, which is Lighting GX. Your opponent reveals their hand at a card you find their prize cards face down. So if your opponent plays their hand down to one or two cards, you put a Xurkitree up, attach a lightning to it, and GX put maybe their draw supporter in their prize cards, and you can set them back far in the game. And then Rumbling Wires does 100 damage, but discards the top card of your opponent's deck. So all these attacks and abilities are pretty disruptive, and it is a 180 HP lightning type Pokemon, so it fits well with the deck. One thing we do suffer against is fighting type decks. So we play one of Mew with the Memories of Dawn. It is also a free retreater, psychic type, so we should be able to hit things like Buzzwole for weakness, and it does help out a lot in that matchup, but it does only have 50 HP, so it's not long for this world. But what you might be doing is forcing them to attach a strong energy, take the knockout, and you bring Xurkitree up, and that leaves them in an awkward position. We then play Tapu Koko. Pardon me for yawning. It is late, and that has the Error Trail ability, letting you switch this Pokemon into the active when you play it down and move as many lightning energies as you want to the Koko. So, you have to switch some energy, obviously, to switch it into the active. And then Sky High Claws does 130, and Tapu Thunder GX does 50 times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So two decent GX attacks in the form of these two guys. And then our main attacker, Pikachu EX, Iron Tail for one colorless 30 times the amount of heads you flip, and Overspark does 50 times the amount of lightning energy you discard. So the idea here is you discard, you dump a lot of lightning energy on, and you discard it, and you can hit massive numbers, uncapped damage output from 150 on. And to make us get to a point where we can dump all that energy, we are playing a 3-1-3 line of Magnezone with a Magnetic Circuit ability. As often as you like during a turn, you may attach a lightning energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So we dump the energy on, swing for big numbers, discard the energy, which helps us protect ourselves against things like Gardevoir GX, or other Pokemon that are powered by the amount of energy on you. And then we pick that energy up again with the help of one of our 3 energy retrievals or one of our 2 fishermans to get energy back into the hand. In terms of draw support, we play a 2-2 artillery line. We don't really need anything like a Zoroark in this deck as a draw engine. Artillery does pretty well, keeping our hand fresh. And then the important thing to note here is that Magnezone is a stage 2, and so we play 4 Rare Candy to get into that stage 2 quickly, and 2 Skylar to make that happen. We play 2 Bridget so that we should have some high likelihood of hitting this turn 1, getting all our basics out. 4 Ultra Ball, 2 Tapu Lele. These cards all help us to get those important supporters when we need them. 1 Rescue Stretcher to get back things like the Mew or the Xurkitree. We play a Clement. Search your deck for up to 4 lightning energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. So this helps us just dump 4 energy on the field instantly. Play 2 Guzma. I'd like to play a higher count, but it really isn't space. We play 4 N, 3 Professor Sycamore. The count is reversed to maybe what you're used to seeing, and that is because we've got a lot of important pieces we don't want to discard. 2 Skylives spoken about, and then we play a total of 12 energy. So that is the deck, and let's give it a spin on the versus ladder and see how we do. Cool. Alright, so we're just going to look for an opponent. Taking a while. Hopefully we get a good matchup to show off. Alright, so we're up against a Psychic Water Lightning type. This could be some kind of spread deck, maybe with a Feeny, a Coco, but let's see what we're up against. They do have those nice Veltal sleeves. We are going first, so I'm actually going to start with a Magnemite, and you'll see why. And I'm going to press done since we're starting. Let's see what we're up against. Alright, the opponent's going to select their start, and they start with a Lele. I was going to Lele for Bridget, but since we start with it straight away, let's just get down one of these guys, and this guy. Alright, we are then going to play it on the Pikachu now. I'm going to retreat into the Xurkitree, attach a lightning to it, and I'm going to pass. Alright, so let's see if my opponent can get off to here from the start. An Ultra Ball. Discarding 2 cards, it's a Guzma and a Floatstone. So there comes another Lele. Imagine I'm going to find a Bridget of their own, possibly. They can't attach a double colorless and swing here because of our ability, Flashing Head. And let's see. So, oh wow, okay. So it's Alolan Golem GX, I think. And our opponent's going to beacon here. Probably getting out 2 of them, or maybe a Graveler. Okay, so that's what it's called. Right, so let's put the auxiliary down. I am. I'm going to attach the Pikachu, and then I'm going to play. It's actually Abyssal Hand first. Alright, so we get the we actually get the turn 2 Magnezone, so I'm going to discard these 2. Get the Magnezone out into play. Kind of wanted to go for an N, but I didn't want to fill my bench up with the Lele unnecessarily, and I think we can go this route. Wow, okay. So no energy, which is pretty unfortunate, and at this point what I am going to do is I'm going to use my GX attack. So I'm going to Lighting GX. Yeah, I don't want to be asked about that. And let's have a look here. So an N, these 2 dudes, and that dude. So I think what we'll probably do here is get rid of this dude. So let's put him in the prizes. And we leave our opponent with an N and 2 of the stage 1s, so they can evolve that up. And let's see what they top decked here. So they're going to play the N. I'm alright with that. Now they're at 7 prizes, which is kind of cool. We have got an N, no energy in the discard. ourselves. He does attach a lightning there. So let's see what we can do here. There come 2 Alolan Golems. So he did beacon for those guys, and it is at this point where I would love to not have to play down an energy, but let's do this anyway. So we will just attach 1, and I am not going to play the Coco down now. I'm going to try and get myself another energy here. So let's N. My opponent will get 7 cards since they have 7 prizes. And the reason I want to do this is we only need 100 to take the knockout here. And let's attach 1 to the active. And we'll put 2 on the bench for now. We are leaving ourselves open to a knockout here, but you know, let's see what we can do anyway. We have another lightning energy, so I'm actually just going to go ahead here and Rumbling Wires, discarding the top card of my opponent's deck. So let's see what we discard. It is an N, which is always good, and we draw an N of our own. Up comes the Lele, so 2 N in the discard. A Heavy Ball is going to come down, and he's going to get that Golem GX out into play. Imagine it's going to come down on this dude. Yep. And let's see what this thing does. So 200 damage. This Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. Alright, and we're going to see an N here. So do you have a stretcher to get that Lele back if we want to go for a Guzma play? We don't hit the stretcher, which is unfortunate, and the Guzma we had in our hand is gone. So my opponent going to get a ton of Golem GXs out into play. And I imagine they're going to start wanting to swing for some big numbers. Without access to double colorless, it is going to be difficult for them. So if we can somehow... No, we can't top deck anything, unfortunately. I'm going to play the Field Blower here. I just want to try and lock that dude in the active there. And I'm just going to swing with Rumbling Wires for now. Doing the 100 damage and discarding the top card of my opponent's deck. There goes a Field Blower. Alright, so another Lightning comes down. So he's going to swing for 80. And he's going to heal up his active. Another potion, so it's interesting to see potions getting played. And we see an N. As much as I don't want to play the N, I think I'm going to play the N. Because we're discarding the top card of my opponent's deck, it isn't as bad. You know, we might force him to discard something important. And what's also important to remember here is we do actually have access to that Tapu Koko. So I'm going to Rumbling Wires one more time. And on our next turn, if we are lucky enough, we discard a Guzma from them, which is great. So 2 Guzma gone. There comes the Lightning Energy. Let's see who he goes for. An Ultra Ball, most likely going to get a Lele out and try and Guzma up my Pikachu, I would think. Oh, going to get a Geodude, so maybe he has no Lele left. He does have 2 on the field. There comes an N, so we go down to 5. He gets 7 again. Burning through his deck pretty fast. He's on 12 cards now. And we can still get the Coco play, but we've played our GX, so we're not going to be doing Tapu Thunder GX, unfortunately. So as long as he doesn't get a knockout on the Pikachu, I think that we actually just get a knockout on this dude over here on the bench. And I'm going to go for that if I can. I don't know if my second Lele is in the deck, but let's find out. We're going to discard these 2. And let's see if we've got it. We do, and is our Guzma there? There's our Guzma. So we're going to take a knockout on this 250 HP Golem GX. Yes, we will search for a supporter. I'm going to get myself a Guzma. And let's Guzma up that dude on the bench. Alrighty. Bring up our Pikachu. Let's get those 2 energies back that we just discarded. And we will magnetic circuit those onto the active, and our opponent scoops. So we were going to take out his only Pokemon that he attached all his basic energy to, and that would pretty much set him back to a point where Xurkitree would take the game. So you can see the real power of the Xurkitree there, forcing our opponent into a really awkward position. And you can see the raw power of Pikachu EX, about to swing for 250 damage there, knocking out that massive GX, which I think is pretty impressive. So that's the deck. A really quick game. And let's even get one more here and show off some more fun with Pikachu Magnezone. Alright, so waiting for our opponent. Okay, we're up against a metal, water, and psychic. Not sure what that is, but we'll find out. We won the coin flip. As long as we don't start with something terrible, we'll be in a decent spot. Alright, so we get a mulligan turn 1. Our opponent knows he's playing something lightning. That's about it. Another mulligan. Wow, alright. This deck doesn't offer mulligan. I mean, we play a lot of, fair amount of basics. So we do see our opponent plays Lily. Alright, so let's see how many mulligans we land up with. Just one more mulligan. Alright, so I'm going to start with a Mew. And he does have that free retreat, so let's see what we're up against. We are starting, so I'm not going to bench the Pikachu yet. So it is actually just a straight Metagross, so I'm going to get myself one of these dudes, and not much point in putting anything else out, so I think at this point I'm going to put down another Magnemite, get those onto the bench, and let's have a look here. So Mew has the resistance, which is always awkward, and we could get knocked out with a Lele if we attach there. So I'm going to attach here onto the bench, and I'm going to pass. We do have the turn 2 Magnezone. We can Skylar for Rare Candy, put down the artillery, draw up to 5, and hope to hit some energy. Alright, so my opponent's going to play down his Beldum, and probably pretty accurately is going to start attaching to Necrozma, trying to sweep that Pikachu off the field. So we get another Magnezone here, so I am going to go for the Rare Candy play and start putting some pressure on my opponent. I know that he did get to Beacon, but I saw that he went for 2 Metangs, so hoping that that's positive for us. And we do have the Mew, which we can use. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to attach now to the I'm going to attach the Pikachu, and then I'm actually going to Abyssal Hand, drawing 4 new cards. We don't hit an energy, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, that's pretty unlucky, I've got to be honest. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to pass here. I'm going to Abyssal Hand, drawing 4 new cards. We don't hit an energy, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah, that's pretty unlucky, I've got to be honest. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to pass here. I'm going to pass here. And let's see what my opponent has. We have a Guzma. We need to hit 2 energies on the next turn. 2 Metang come down, and let's see what my opponent's got here. Another Psychic 2, then the Necrozma, Professor's Letter. He's probably going to Ultra Ball those away, getting them into the discard pile. No, just going to Sycamore those. So, discarding a Max Potion and the 2 metals. Another Metang comes down. And I imagine he's going to Beacon here for 2 Metagross. Choice Band to the Metang and a Beacon. Alright, so now we do really need to look at an N. We haven't used our Rescue Stretcher yet. I'm wondering if I should get another Magnemite out into play, and I think I do want to do that. Just so I can thin the deck out. I want to try and draw some energies here, and we can always Energy Drive, which is what I'm hoping to be able to do with the Lele. So we're going to... I'm going to use the Abyssal Hand first. Okay, so we do naturally draw into the N. I'm going to Magnetic Circuit onto Mew. It's a pity I did that, but yeah. I'm just forcing my opponent here to have to think carefully about who he takes a knockout on. I'm going to play the N. I know we didn't bench the Lele, so we ran a risk that we can't Energy Drive. But now we have the Lele, so I'm alright with that. I'm going to... But I think we're going to have to swing with a Pikachu and take our chances here with the Necrozma. Really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's discard all those energies and take a prize. And let's see what my opponent's got here. He's got probably a pretty high likelihood of hitting what he needs. And we just need to be able to Rescue Stretcher a Pikachu back into the deck. So we can get the energies back, that's not an issue. We can get a Skylar and Skylar for the Rescue Stretcher, which is probably what I'm going to do here. I do want to take the knockout, so let's put the Mew up there. And I'm going to play down that Lele, Wonder Tag. We'll get ourselves the Skylar, and the Rescue Stretcher is in there, so let's get that Skylar. And let's play that. My opponent didn't evolve any Metagross that turn, so I'm assuming that he didn't have what he needed. Let's get that Pikachu into play. Bench that, play our retrievals, get 2 lightning energies. We will Magnetic Circuit those onto the active. Alright, 1 there, 1 there, and not sure if I'm going to play the other retrieval now. I think I'm just going to go for the Overspark and do 300 damage, going down to 3 prizes. And let's see what my opponent can do here. Alright, so he brings up Metang. We do have this Clement, and we've got 4 energy in the discard pile as well. So if we hit a Fisherman or a Clement or one of our 2 remaining energy retrievals, we can get those back and start swinging. So we hit a Sycamore, which is always good. So let's see what we top deck here. I imagine my opponent's going to go for a Metagross, and possibly they are going to Algorithm GX. Put 5 cards that they want into their hand. So unless we can top deck an N or Abyssal Hand for 1 into an N, we may not make it through this one. But let's see what we get here. We just need to hit 5 energy cards and we are good to go. We play 12, so there are 8 left in the deck. We need to hit 1 and a couple of retrievals. So I think I'm going to still Abyssal Hand here for the 1 card. Alright, that's great. So we thinned that out of the deck. We don't actually want to draw into any of these cards. So let's thin that out and let's see. Alright, so we only hit 2 energy here, which is not going to do much for us, unfortunately. I'm going to Field Blower that off, and if we Energy Drive here, we are not affected by resistance, so I still think it's worthwhile, especially since we have got the Fisherman in hand. So I'm going to Energy Drive for the 80 damage. Energy Drive ignores resistance when you attack, so, and weakness of course. 2 more Metagross come down, and now I think we are in a fair amount of trouble. A Rescue Stretcher for another Metagross, and a Red Candy. So 4 Metagross in play, and just one lonely little Pikachu. We have no more Rescue Stretchers left. We haven't used our GX attack, but I don't think my opponent's ever going to be in a position where he's got enough energy on the field to make our Coco do anything. And we do get N down here. Alright, so there's the Coco. 4 energy on the field, so we are doing 200 damage with Tapu Koko, which is not bad, to be honest. So I'm going to promote the Pikachu. Let's see if we can pull this off. So let's Magnetic Circuit the Lightning onto the active. Let's play the Coco down, bring it into the active, forcing the switch. Let's Abyssal Hand for 3 new cards. And we hit the Fisherman, which is awesome. So that'll get us the energy we need. 4 energy into the hand, and now we're able to attach reach the active, and let's put those 2 on the bench. Right, and then we can Tapu Thunder GX for the knockout, going down to 1 prize. Alright, and let's see what we can do here. So we get a Lele and a Remoraid, cards we don't need. And now we just need to hit 3 more energies on our Pikachu. Of course, he's probably going to Lele here and Uzma up our Pikachu, I would imagine. Could be worth playing Fury Belts in here. The Fury Belts would put our Pikachu out of range just because it has that metal resistance. So I'm going to fail the Ultra Ball. Going to Geotech System to the active 3 times. And Skylar probably for a Choice Band. Yeah. Going to get the knockout on our Coco. How many... Oh, we played 2 Fishermans. Okay, and how many energy are in the deck? Enough. So we can actually Clement here and probably get the knockout. So let's put our Pikachu up. We know Clement is in the deck. We have... How many energy? Oh, we don't need to even... We can just Clement right here. So let's get the 4 energy out of the deck. And we'll dump those all onto our Pikachu. Magnetic Circuit them on. There's 1. There's 2. Our opponent says well played. Let's see if they let us do our maximum damage here. And we'll swing for... Let's give him a well played. And we will overspark for the knockout and the game. So that is our Pikachu Magnezone deck. You saw one game where the Xurkitree came into play and another game where Pikachu just did some massive damage. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed them. That was just 2 back-to-back quick games. And I hope you like the deck and what it can do. Like, comment, and subscribe on the channel, guys. We are at 67 subs, so I'm hoping to get to 100 before the end of the year. That'll help a lot. And keep the comments coming. Watch out for lucky draws that we've got coming up this month. Middle of the month we do our lucky draws, so comment on the videos to take part in the lucky draw. Cheers. A big shout out to our sponsors Ultimate Guard and the Battle Bunker.